Okay, welcome back reefers. So, typical unscripted, unedited upload here. I thought I better give you an upload just to bring you up to speed with what's been going on with the reef tank here. Firstly, this is the first time in a while actually I've actually appeared in one of my videos, and that's for good reason. I've just not felt confident enough to come onto camera in front of you guys, because if you've been following the videos, I have mentioned before I've been struggling with my health recently, and the illness that I've got made me lose a lot of weight, and I just felt rubbish. So that was the reason for that, and the medication that I'm on, the temporary medication that I'm on, has actually made me gain a little bit more weight back, so I feel a little bit better. It's an ongoing battle with what I've got, and hopefully by the end of the year I should be on a different program to manage what I've got, and yeah, everything should, fingers crossed, go back to normal, and I should feel a lot better. But yeah, I am feeling a lot better in myself, so I'm going to be in videos a little bit more. Anyway, that aside, we're back into lockdown, which is, well, to be honest, for me, it doesn't affect me or my family really. My wife's a teacher, so she's back at work as normal. I'm working still. My two kids, one's at high school, so he's obviously still going in, and my daughter, she's at college. So yeah, and until things change there, I think that might change if they can't get this R number under control. But anyway, moving on. Yeah, it's been a while since I've done an upload, so this is going to be quite a lengthy video. Apologies for that, but I've got loads to cover. Lots have changed, lots of things have changed with the tank. It's been 8 months. It feels longer than that. This one's been a bit hard to get on track, should I say. Every reef tank's different. If you're into reef and you've done many reef tanks, you'll know that every system matures differently, and what I call sort of gets into its groove and stabilises and starts thriving and growing well. Can take, yeah, it's one of those things you just have to be patient with. And this one's been a bit tricky. We've been hit with a few. We initially had lots of problems, but yeah, we're getting there slowly. So I'm going to take the camera off the tripod in a minute and give you a show around. Starting with, I want to plug someone's channel. Now, you guys obviously watch a lot of reefing videos on YouTube, and there's so many channels to subscribe and hit the bell and that. I'm always looking on YouTube and watching different people's videos, and you always come across a new channel now and then that you think, oh, this is a really great channel, I'm really sort of excited for the next upload, etc., and see how they go on. And I really enjoy watching sort of amateur people's channels where they're just starting out, they literally know hardly anything, and they're doing their first tank. And there's this one channel that I've just come across recently, and I've got to plug it, you've got to check it out. I really enjoy watching his videos, and it's Jay's Real Reef UK. I'll double check I've got that right. I think that's right. Let me just check on my computer. Yeah, I think it's Jay's Real Reef UK. Smashing guy. He's got his first reef tank, never even kept a goldfish before. So he's jumped straight into doing a reef. I think he was inspired by the videos I've done on my Red Sea Max Nano. So he's got himself a Red Sea Max Nano, and yeah, just really enjoyable videos, because you can see he knows his knowledge is very, very low, but what he is doing is a hell of a lot of research, and he's learning very, very quickly, which is really nice to see. Let me just double check that I've got it. Yeah, it's Jay's Real Reef UK. Great guy. Check his videos out. Check his channel out. He's struggling with cycling at the moment. So he's at the very, very start of everything, and he's doing this journey with his son, his young son, who's really interested in reefs and marine and the hobby as well, which is great. because you know, I have that same relationship with my son. My son's really into reefing. Don't know if you've checked his channel out. It's Corey Willard on YouTube, and yeah, so check that out. Yeah, it's just a great channel. Really enjoy it. Hi Jay, by the way. Okay, so moving on to my tank. I'm going to get a camera for tripod. There's lots of stuff I've got to do inside the tank, so it's a little bit messy at the moment. I've got frags here and everywhere. I've just had a little bit of a frag down. So yeah, here we go. Bear with me. Okay. So initially we struggled with this tank. We had a bacterial infection, I think, and we lost a lot of coral. And the next issue was nutrients, just struggling for nutrients. Nutrients was virtually zero on nitrate and phosphates, and the tank was really struggling then as well. Official figures for parameters at the moment, we're sitting at, obviously salinity being the first one, 35 parts per thousand, temperature 25 to 26 degrees. 25.8. It's set between 0.3 of a degree, so usually hovers between 25.8 and 26. Nice and stable. Alkalinity between 8 and 9. We're currently sitting at 8.6. Try and keep that as stable as possible. Calcium, we're hovering around the 500 mark, stable. Magnesium 1500, stable. Nitrates are currently at 10 ppm, and phosphate is currently at 0.14. So phosphate's a little high. I can control these nutrients really easily by using a product by Tropic Marine, Bacto Balance, which is a carbon source dosing solution. The trouble I've got is I find that it really messes my skimmer up. It makes the foam far too thick, and it seems to sort of all puff out the sides and stuff, but I'll go into that in a second when we go into the sump. But going into coral wise, we have got some good growth. It's not till you look back on videos that you realise actually stuff is growing. So we'll start from the top. We've got our stylo, purple stylophora. That's doing fantastic, probably the best growing coral in here. And moving down, we've got various different SPS acros up here that I got from a friend of mine's tank. Some have taken a while to settle in and encrust, and some are doing better than others really, but yeah, I think it's just because of the age of the tank and just dialing in our nutrients and stuff before they kick off nicely. I haven't added any coral, I ain't purchased any coral for this tank from the start really. It's what I've transferred from my Max Nano and what I've been given, but yeah, until I feel confident that the tank is sort of taking off, then it's not really worth me spending the money, to be honest. But we're getting close, I think. Pink Hystrix. Apologies, the colour's a bit off. I've got this filter on the phone. But all the LPS are doing really good. Obviously they're loving the higher nutrients. This frog spawn here is really puffy and nice and growing well. This Blasto here, really good. I think I'm going to try and adjust the colour on the Kessels quickly, just to get the let's dial it down a bit on the colour. So Zoas, we've got a little Zoa garden here. Again, nothing's really sort of, I don't think going to stay here. I've got to rearrange really, because I've done a lot of fragging, and I've got some new corals from my son's tank as well. These Zoas here, which are awesome. A frag of one there. I think they're called Utter Chaos. Quite expensive Zoa they are. We've got loads of them here. So our two Monty caps here, the red and the green I've actually placed very close together. They're actually trying to scroll in the centre there, sort of mixing together. That's the idea, to try and get a nice mixer to the two colours scrolling together. There's a bit of a purple plate there as well. It's taken a while to take off. Hammer, that's doing good. That was literally 1-2 polyps on that at the beginning. It was tiny, so that's doing okay. Again, the LPS are loving this higher nutrients. This green hystrix was really bleached out until the nutrients come up, and it's really come back in colour. So sort of, you know, 3 weeks ago it was pure white. Now it's all coming back in colour thanks to the nutrients. But the nutrients is too high. I want to run about 5 ppm nitrate and 0.05 phosphate, really. This strawberry shortcake here is a real slow grower. It's encrusting loads but not sprouting up yet. Duncan doing great. Red digitata at the back doing fantastic. And this Hisuta, Montiporo Hisuta, it's just gone mad. As you can see down here, I've had to break it off because it was touching the glass up here. It stretched right out to the glass, so I've had to break it off, and it's temporarily down here. This Pavona is lovely, especially under blues. And it was up the top here, but I had to remove it because it started encrusting on the back wall. As you probably noticed, coralline algae, oh, it's just gone mad in this tank. It is literally everywhere. I can put something in here like a new wave pump, which I'll come on to next actually. Within a couple of weeks it's fully encrusted in coralline. So coralline is growing so well, to the point where it's layering up and coming off in big sheets off the back. And it's all down to this 10-year plus mature live rock that I put in. So although the tank's, you know, only 8 months old, I think we're probably anywhere between sort of 1 and 2 years mature, really, because just for the fact that I've put such mature live rock in, it's given a massive helping hand to the system in sort of biodiversity, really, and bacteria and stuff. So, and obviously the coralline spread loads. Flow. Moving on to flow. I don't want to make this video too long, so we're already only 13 minutes in. Flow, was not happy with the flow in this tank whatsoever. We had a couple of small, up in this corner, we had a couple of small wave pumps, a little Dunzi 6040 that was from my Nano, and I think it was, yeah, a TMC Reef tied in the corner as well. Really not generating a great deal of flow, to be honest, especially for a tank this size. So they need something a bit more gutsy. So in this corner, you'll probably remember I had a max spec jump Jaya 4K, the larger one, in here. Run it for a good number of months and just was not happy with it, to be honest. They're very popular and they are good pumps for producing a lot of flow in a linear sheeting sort of way, but just did not suit this tank at all. Wasn't happy whatsoever. The coral showed it as well. So I've gone for these J-Cod, cheap and cheerful J-Cod SOW 15s, 15,000 litres per hour each. And I've had lots of J-Cod wave pumps before. We're running a J-Cod return pump, which we do on most of our systems, and I find them quite reliable. I've not had one mess up really yet. I've had the 4s, the 8s, and obviously the 15s here in this tank. So we've got a lot of flow at our disposal, and I love the fact that you can get an actual pump. If you look at the wave, at the sort of water surface, so you can actually get a pump, what I call a pumping sort of motion with the waves. There's lots of different functions with them, so I'm chuffed with that. The second one I've just added on about a week ago, and yeah, we're getting some nice flow now. The polyps moving in. The GSP is a good indicator here. Look, so you've got that pump version, you know, swaying to and fro, and obviously you've got the chaoticness as well. And I'm getting polyp movement on everything now. Stylo that you can see moving everywhere, whereas before with the max spec jump just wasn't getting that. It's either getting battered too much or wasn't getting anything at all. But yeah, all the polyps on the SPS are moving, and the LPS down the bottom, they're getting not too much, which is good because they don't like too much flow. So yeah, I'm really happy I've dialed in my flow. I've still yet to fattle around with the settings, but yeah, much happier. So moving on quickly down into the sub. Apologies, a little bit messy down in here. I've got to have a good clean up of all the glass and whatnot. We've changed the filter sock to a large 7-inch long, 100 micron. It's changed out every day, because I was finding with the 4-inch ones, sometimes I have to do it a couple of times a day, especially if you pump through the rocks and sand. It's just so annoying. So that's a great change that I've done. I've also moved out a lot of the live rock from here, but it's just too damn much. Skimmer doing awesome. Like saying before, with carbon dosing to reduce the nutrients or dial them in, the only annoying thing is I find that the skimmer puffs up such thick foam that it all starts coming out the air vents on the skimmer. It's great, the skimmer, because you can lock down the lid so it doesn't pop off, but yeah, it was getting far too much thick foam. I might try again, sort of maybe a lower dose, but yeah, it's been so much better now I've come off it. Moving into the last chamber, we've put the 2 wave pumps. I did have the smaller wave pumps down here, just get some good circulation down here through all the biomedia and stuff. It was going to be a little bit stagnant actually, because I've taken the last pane of glass out of here, and it's quite a large last section, if you know what I mean. Especially if you're not running the return flow on too much, you get it quite stagnant. So dosing, we are still dosing Tropic Marines all for Reef in powder formation. Wow, well, what can I say? Really impressed. Such a good product, just one solution that does the lot. I've just come off of 4 months of no water changes, where everything, all the parameters is rock steady, and I'm presuming the trace are sort of roughly where they need to be. I need to do an ICP just to check on that, but I've just done a 60% water change, or a series of 3 24% water changes, which is about 50-60% water change, only because we was getting lots of cyanobacteria pop up, and persevered with it, and in the end I just took the plunge and used a product called, where is it, let's find it, here it is. If you've got red cyanobacteria and you want to get rid of it within 24 hours, this is your stuff. It's by Blue Life. Cyano RX, red Cyano RX. First time I've ever used it in all my years of reefing. I don't think it's been out that long, to be honest, maybe 5 or 6 years or so. My son had the same problem, done 1 dose of it, cleared it completely, and it never came back. I had the same. I thought, I'll use it. I don't usually like dosing chemicals into the tank. Turned the skimmer off, took the carbon out, 1 dose of it in, and within 48 hours, it took that extra day on mine actually, and it's completely wiped it all out. Awesome product, highly recommend that. So yeah, what else I've got to cover? I do plan to do some live streams. Just put in the comments box below if you're interested in seeing a live stream. I've got lots of videos planned. I'm going to do some videos on my son's tank. I'm going to do some costing videos and whatnot. So yeah, we've got lots of plans, folks. If you're not already subscribed, subscribe and hit that bell notification, and the like, for that thumbs up like would be great. It really helps me out, guys, if you give it a like. So I've got loads more to talk about really, but I've got to wrap it up because we're 20 minutes in. So if you've lasted this long, thanks for watching, folks. Really appreciate your support of watching the videos. So until next time, I'll catch you in the next one.